Hello everyone, welcome to my review of Transformers Studio Series number 67, Voyager class Revenge of the Fallen Skipjack, part 1 of the eventual Devastator. And I have actually decided to let the RNG decide the order for which I will review the Constructicons, because yes, I am gonna be reviewing over the course of July, and well, now I guess, the Constructicons, ending with an eventual Devastator review as well. But like I said, the order is gonna be very weird because of the fact that, well, I am letting the RNG decide. I did not just decide the first one was gonna be Skipjack. I was just like, alright, I put them all in numbers, and which one's gonna be first? Skipjack it is. And also, it kind of feels like this is kind of the year of combiners. I mean, in the beginning of the year, I did Menasor. Also, this year, we are getting both Devastator from Studio Series 86 and Age of the Prime Superion. So I decided, you know what? Hey, they all have one thing in common, and that is the fact that they are G1. So I decided to do a little bit of variety, and here we have the movie verse once. And also, this guy is most certainly a repaint of Rampage. And he never had a robot mode in the movie to begin with, I don't think. Because, yeah, Devastator was kind of weird in Revenge of the Fallen. Because the fact that Devastator was happening at the pyramid, and then somewhere else, Long Haul, Mixmaster, and Scrapper were just like fighting. Scrap Metal also was just ripped apart at the beginning of the movie in order to bring back the Lord and Savior Mega Man. And then Demolisher was somewhere else already being dead. So it's just like, it's so weird. So then, let us take a look at the good old figure himself, who's got some nice silver painting here at the beautiful head sculpt. It's nice silver and black paint job right there. I mean, this thing does not have the most complex of engineering. Mainly actually going into foot mode is where this guy is really complex. But that allows them to do a lot more detailing throughout, because we got the nice silver here as well. We got some nice silver in here. Also, I just noticed when I was taking my Devastator apart for these reviews that there is a lot of yellow on Devastator. It's about 4 yellow guys. But yeah, we got some weird detailing in there, some weird stuff in there. And then we got some niceness here as well. This is the jumping jack, and obviously the stand that you get with this figure in order to be able to stand him up, because like this, he ain't gonna stand if you put him like this. He's just not gonna stand. So you need a stand here at the bottom in order to be able to just get him to stand like so. And I also like how the threads become the arms as well. I mean, they're not functioning threads, obviously. That would be a nightmare of engineering. And then here on the back, you got the big scoop thing right there. The big scoop thing here. Also, you can actually lift this up or down if you want to. The wheel here, you can lift this up or down. Your choice on how you want to display it. Then we got some more details here, but that is more for the vehicular form. But overall, he is a very, very nice looking guy. I am a big fan. So then, let's look at the accessories that he comes with, and outside of, like, you know, the stand, he has the couple more accessories that he comes with. So let's move the arms out of the way, and we can undo these things here. And these are actual guns. Let's move the Jesus man out of the way so that we can focus more on the gun. And yeah, it is an interesting looking gun, as you can see here, with some more nicey details. It's difficult to show off tiny things because my camera loves to unfocus. Now then, if you want to attach this, actually, what you're supposed to do is you're actually supposed to take this, and in here, there is a square right there that the tab here will tab into. So you basically just want to take this and have that in, and then you can close it back up. You can also lift the thummy here a little bit up, but you want to close it back up, and now he can actually shoot. I have no idea why they gave him this. Alright, like, I don't remember Rampage, because he's the main one. But Rampage in the movie actually shooting, I don't necessarily remember it. I remember him getting shot by Bumblebee though, but I don't really remember him doing a lot of shooting. So it is kind of weird that this figure actually does have like the shooting capability. But I like it nonetheless. But that is not all. I mean, accessory-wise it is, but weapon-wise not. Because what is Rampage, or Skipjack I guess, most known for in the movie? The whip weapons. And you can actually rotate these things down in order to kind of emulate that as well. Even though this thing has to become a vehicle of foot, he can also do a lot of this stuff, which I'm actually a big fan of the way that they are able to handle this. But yeah, I mean, it looks kind of dumb because the whip weapons were supposed to be even longer. Kind of wish that in here there was something you kind of like fold out in order to make these bad boys longer, but I don't really see it in here. You just got this here. Kind of wish that inside of here maybe you could like double hinge it out again in order to make it a bit longer. But he does at least try to emulate the weapons that he has in the movie. So I can only respect that kind of stuff. So then, let's move straight into the articulation. Also, I don't really know how these things are supposed to go. It kind of looks like they are supposed to go like this, but on Rampage, I have him back here. Sometimes I just have him like this. So I have no idea. Anyway, let's go straight into the articulation segment, shall we? And articulation on this guy, he's not a very articulate fellow, is he? Because starting off the head, well, the neck here. Can move down for transformation, but you can use that in order to have a downwards look as well. And then it will softly click into place. There is also under here, as you can see, that joint here, which means it can look side to side if you want to. And he has a slight ball joint in here in order to be able to look left and right with the head, which is kind of difficult to move, so I like to just leave that be. Then the arms can actually do a lot of stuff except for one major thing. So starting off, they can do a full rotation and also can go in and out. There is no elbow joint, but for transformation there is a forward butterfly joint, so you might be able to use that. And then this here can move, and then the little finger can move as well. These fingers can move as well. This gun is not fully pegged in. And then obviously the threads can move. And then here he has a little bit of a weird rotation like this. This is mainly for the combiner mode, as you can hear the tough ratchet. But also you can move it forward and back here as well. And you can lift this up further if you want to, or you can just leave this fully extended down if you want to. It is your choice. You might be able to do some stop motion stuff with it. But yeah, like so, there he is, the man himself. And yeah, that is basically it. Also, this thing can move back and in and... But yeah, he's got weird articulation, but look at him. Look at him. He is a weird guy as well. I actually like to have this a little bit out. But yeah, look at him. He is just a weird guy. Also, in here, there is another foot to put out, but I like to just fold that bad boy in. But that is the articulation segment of good old Skipjack, the Jack that loves to skip. Done. So then I guess the next thing that we can do is go straight into comparisons. So starting off, let's do the comparison with the boy himself. Here he is next to Rampage, the original version of this mold, whose number I also don't remember, and I forgot to do that little bit transformation here. But yeah, Skipjack and Rampage, the two brothers are here. And yes, Rampage can also, if you want to, be turned into a foot for Devastator, because he was the original foot of the Devastator Studio Series figure until we got Skipjack way later. Which I don't know why sometimes Hasbro takes forever to release a repaint. It's like, dude, it's the easiest thing to do. Why are you waiting so long to do it? But they look very nice together, and to be honest, there is absolutely zero different outside of the fact of yellow and red. That's the only difference. But they look good together, so let's get him out of here so that we can bring in some more Decepticons. How about we get in the main Decepticons of Revenge of the Fallen? So here we have him next to, I guess, Starscream, the Fallen, and Megatron as well. There you go. This might look a little bit better. There you go. But the Fallen, Megatron, and Starscream looking very, very nice. With them, I do not know about scale. Look, man, Rampage never appeared next to Megatron, so I have no idea how these scale, so I'm just gonna say that they scale alright. Also, I forgot something, it seems, because apparently in the back here, I just noticed it on Rampage, there is another finger that you can actually fold down. I forgot about that one. Oopsie. Don't blame me. I figured it out now. But yeah, here you go. He has that as well. So, I just saw it right here on Rampage. He has like these things, which actually kind of look like knives now that I think about it. Here. Kind of look a bit like knives. But anyway, yeah. He also has the back fingers. There you go. Now he's perfect. All right. But I don't know how the scaling works between them. So let's get these guys out of here and bring in the family of Construction. So here we have all the Constructicons and a little bit of the Fallen because he's there in the corner. Look at him. Hello. But here we have all 8 of the Constructicons together, and they look really cool together. I don't know if they are fully in scale. It feels like that Demolisher fellow in the back there, who has a different name, is supposed to be a little bit bigger. But who's to say, you know, I have no idea, but maybe if he was a little bit bigger, that would have ruined the Devastator and also, you know, budgeting. But here we have them all together looking very nice, and some of these figures are knockoffs, when I'm not gonna tell you which. I mean, I feel like I already have, in other videos, but I don't know. So I will get these guys out of here so that we can get into the final size comparison. No. I have to do this on this channel, the obligatory sound wave and shockwave size comparison. And like I said, scale wise, I don't know if he looks to scale, but overall I think he looks very nice with shockwave and sound wave. They look very cool together, so let's get them out of here as well. And then let's take Skipjack here, the Jack who loves to skip, and let's go into transformation then, shall we? So let's get Skipjack transformed into his nope, not robot mode, vehicle mode. So what you want to start off with, I like to fold out the arms to the side so we have a little bit more room to work with. So what you want to do with this is you want to rotate this all the way around, like so, until you get it something like this. Then after that, you want to take this thing and actually rotate it like this, so that this can go over here. So just wanted to rotate this around. Then there's a tab here sticking out, so you basically want to kind of just get this around that tab, and then fold it down and kind of get that like lined up like so. Do the same thing on the other side, so you want to rotate this all the way around. We'll fiddle more with this in order to get it into its proper position later on, don't worry about it. And then also rotate this thing around, get it around the tab, come on. And then also there's a little tab here, as you can see, that needs to go into a slot down there. So you just basically want to tab that together like so. After that, what you want to do is also kind of like rotate this down a little bit, then rotate this forward like so. There we go. A lot of the transformations already done. Also, take the stand off of him and take this piece here and fold it in. Kind of forgot to do that one. So then what we do next is lower the camera, because what you want to do next is come in here and just open up these side panels here as well, because they reveal a little bit of a slot that the tab on this side and on this side are gonna go into. So then what you want to do is you want to make sure that this thing is fully straight like so, and then rotate it down, and then you want to basically get this fully aligned with everything. Make sure that this is fully aligned as well, and just like get the tab in here like so. Do the same thing on the other side, so just basically get everything kind of like straightened out here. Make sure that you can align the tab here. Let's see here. I always find a little bit annoying to do that, but there you go. Tab both sides in like so. There you go. And then what you want to do for like a finishing touch, I guess, is you want to take these side pieces here, rotate them down, and then this needs to hook over this tab here. So you basically want to rotate this down and then hook this over here and tab that into place. Do the same thing on the other side. So just hook it over, tab it into place, fold these pieces here down like so. And then I will take a little bit of a look-see. And it does seem like there is one more thing that we can do. So you can open up these pieces here, take this thing here, and as you can see, let's see here, where were they again? Oh, they're back here. There are two, there's a tab there and a tab on that side that can go into the slots on either side of this thing here. So basically just want to take this, rotate it backwards like so, and then just tab these pieces in here on the side, on the underside here, like so. There you go. And then you can fold the threads back down, get them all into position, get everything here into position, and here we have good old Skipjack. Actually, one more thing. Take this here and rotate it down. I always forget it because it's such a tiny little thing, but I remember it just in time. Yeah, get that down, and that will allow the wheel to come and touch the ground. And there we have Skipjack in his vehicular form. So here we have Skipjack in his vehicular form in a construction vehicle. Now, I have no idea what these construction vehicles are called, so I'm just gonna call them construction vehicles, because that is the easiest to say. And he actually doesn't necessarily look all that bad. Now, is he perfect? No. I do like him, but yeah, these things here at the back just do kind of annoy me. These hands at the back. I kind of wish you could just like put them in there in order to get them out of the way. That would have cleaned it up so much more. But you can't really do that stuff. I mean, maybe one. No, it doesn't go all the way in. Nope, not possible. Sadly enough, not possible. However, I do like the fact that this thing has a little bit of storage going on. But the way that I do it here at the back is just fold these things downwards. I mean, you could just leave them out like so. You can even rotate them up like so, but I'll just fold them down, get them out of the way. But overall, he looks actually pretty nice. And I also like how the guns blend in up here at the front. in order to hide away. It is beautiful. So let's take a closer look at this thing. Here we have the beautiful cab here, which also makes this thing absolutely huge. But still, you got the cab right here. We also have some nice blackness at the front here. A bunch of details as well. You'll have to see a lot of details. Some blackness here on the top as well. These threads don't roll, but don't worry about it, because they actually have tiny little wheels in here that that barely touch the ground. The main one that actually gets this idiot rolling is the front one here. But yeah, here he is from the bottom, and basically it's just a head that's poking out there. And then also we got some nice silver here at the front in order for the scooping to happen. Sadly enough, doesn't move. You can't use the scoop. Also some nice blackness hit back here, which actually they didn't really have to do the black here because of the fact that, you know, you can't really see that stuff. Because it's behind the thing, it's never really for transformation. So, I don't know why they painted it, but it's always appreciated. But anyway, sadly enough, this thing here does not go up and down. I kind of wish it did, but maybe that would have made engineering a little bit of a hell. But yeah, but this does not go up. It's just for show, basically. And then here he is from the back, actually hiding away pretty well, even though this thing does look a little bit weird. But overall, he hides everything outside of the hands here away really well, and I'm actually very surprised for how easy that transformation actually was. The only real also issue that I have is kind of like the gap here. There's like a big gap here that just is a little bit unsettling, but overall, the transformation to get into this mode was actually pretty easy, and I'm surprised by how well he hides everything away, especially being a movie bot. But now we kind of have a little bit of a problem. It's just a small thing, and that is the fact that we don't have any weapon storage, and we don't have articulation, which means that I guess the next segment I have to go to immediately, because the weapon storage already happened, well, it's a stand storage, which is basically just under here. You tap that in. But I guess what we have to do next is, I mean, this thing also doesn't necessarily roll all that well because the wheels are way too tiny. They're tiny, tiny wheels. I don't even know if they really roll. Mine don't really roll. But anyway, let's move then straight into the next segment, which is SAS comparison. So starting off here, he is next to his old self. Well, his old self, his twin brother, I guess, Rampage. And basically the same figure, except for this idiot is red and that one is yellow. But outside of that, pretty much the same figure. And overall, they look nice together, you know. I can totally see these guys just like constructing away. I think I actually did something wrong during the transformation, actually, because these wheels are supposed to go further down. They're supposed to click out. Oops. The wheels are actually supposed to click out. I did not know that. So, now he rolls. Yay. Thank you once again, Rampage. Anyway, but here they are together. Looking very, very nice together. But they both roll now, yay. But I can totally see these guys on construction places just, you know, like, I don't know, demolishing a building or something like that. Or, isn't this the vehicle that you use in GTA San Andreas in order to get that one guy who's stuck in the toilet in the hole and then, like, fill that hole up? Isn't that what you do? Because of the fact that he hit on your sister or something like that. I don't fully remember that one. But it's like, yeah, I think he used this one in order to just roll around like one of those like portable toilets. But overall, they look pretty nice together. So then let's bring in the Decepticon leaders. So here we have him next to Megatron and Starscream, and no, not the Fallen, because let's be honest here, in Transformers Revenge of the Fallen actually never transformed, so that one was specifically only exclusively used for robot mode size comparison. But he looks very nice next to these two, so let's get you two out of here and bring in the full squadron. So here we have all of the Constructicons together. My goodness, finally, I don't have any issues putting these guys down because Scavenger is actually in his vehicle mode. Now, I don't know if these guys are scale accurate. It still does feel like Scavenger should be way bigger than he actually is. But overall, they all look very nice together. A bunch of constructing vehicles. I mean, you can even do this as well. Just a bunch of construction vehicles. So let's get these guys out of here. And then next up here, we have him next to Kit from Knight Rider, who, as I have promised before, is going to become a permanent resident in the SAS comparison vehicle mode thing. So here he is next to that one. And yeah, 100% out of skill. And then finally here we have him next to Shockwave and Soundwave. As always, it has to happen. So let's get them out of here. Pull you in closer and let's get into that reverse transformation. So let's get the Jack who likes to skip back into his robotic mode. So what you start off with is very simple. What I would like to do is come under here, lift these bad boys up. Also, for the people who only watch the Transform It, you actually have to push these wheels out. But anyway, get this thing out of here. Like so. Anyway, these things were pushed back. You have to push them down a bit in order to get the wheels out. I forgot to show that off, but yeah. Get these things out. I guess you can close this back up. And then untab them from in here. Also, we'll keep this open, by the way. Open these things, like lower them. Get these things pushed down to untab it from here. Take these side pieces here and rotate them up and out of the way. That way we can do a lot more with this, because that means we can do this, which is very important for us. Then after that you can rotate this down. But you have to kind of like double hinge it in. Pull this thing out from under here, like so. And I guess you can already attach this bad boy down here. There we are. And as you can see, it's now finally starting to look... Oh, wow, this thing fell out. Anyway, it's starting to look like Skipjack is back in his robotic mode, almost. We just need to do a little bit of arm action and then we are done. So what you want to do is first come on this side, undo this from in here, and also get it rotated down and around like so. Do the same thing on the other side, so rotate this around like so. Then come to the other side and take this piece here and rotate it around as well, like so. Do it on the other side as well. Get it rotated around, yeah, like so. There you go. And then what you want to do is you want to rotate the arms down. Rotate this around because this is supposed to be the insides. Rotate this fully, so that is like that. And then, I mean, you can fold these pieces back up if you want to. It's your choice, your figure. You can display it however you were to please it. But after all is said and done, here we have Skipjack back in his robotic mood. So my final thoughts on Jack who loves to skip school. Overall, I think he is actually a pretty neat figure. I like him. I mean, the transformation is very easy. Also, for anyone wondering, since this is the first one of these that I'm doing, what about the transformation into leg mode or any other mode that I will do in the future? No. I'm not gonna do that until we get to the Devastator video. Did you not watch the Mendosaur video? Go back and watch the Mendosaur video and then you'll know how this works. But yeah, I'm not gonna transform these guys into the combiner mode until we get to the combiner video itself. I like the way of doing it like that. This way we're just focusing on the figure. But overall, I like him. However, he is definitely not worth aftermarket prices. And I feel like there are a lot of better figures that you could pick up for yourself. That you really only want to pick this up if you want to complete the Revenge of the Fallen, the Constructicons. If you want to complete that, then this is a pickup worthy. But between these two, this one and Rampage, you can go either or. Which color do you like more, red or yellow? Because that is basically the big choice. But still, like I said, I do recommend him. He has some fun to him. But if you're not a fan of the movie designs, then I guess, I don't know, buy the 86 Devastator. So my recommendation is he is a fun figure, but in the aftermarket prices, for like, you know, Voyager class price point, he's worth it. More than that, I wouldn't really pay that. So that has been my review of Transformers Studios series number 67, Voyager class Revenge of the Fallen Skipjack. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that bell and comment your thoughts on this figure. And please check out my Let's Play channel, linked in the description and at the end of the video. I upload 3 videos every day of different games, but mainly Pokemon. And I'll see you guys in the next review. Bye!